This is Aaron Smith, and I can't lose. Apologize for being late. Thank you, MTA. I was at Canal Street, and that's like a couple stops away, and all of a sudden the doors malfunctions. Hilarious. I find the funny in things like that. But the thing is that they want to go up on this fair, and I'm like, you got all these rickety-crickety trains, and you need to go ahead and, like, if you really want people to ride them and continue to provide money for your service, it's got to be better than that. But we'll move on. I have a special guest in today. Give it up for Nefara. Thank you, Facially, for waiting. Apologize for that. I was on time.
No problem.
You can move the mic up a little bit so I can hear you.
MTA, you know.
So,
the transportation gods.
yeah, that's what they believe they are, but
yeah,
you know, what can you do? Just tell the good people a little about yourself and what you do.
I'm a multi-talented, eclectic, kind of free-flowing spirit, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm just here. Thanks for having me. You know, check in with me on Keys to Soar.
Mm-hmm.
Keys to Soar is my website. And I'm just hanging loose with you today.
Cool. What is Keys to Soar? Because I'm a little familiar with it, but our audience probably would not be. So could you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So Keys to Soar is like my boutique coaching service. It does. It focuses on equity from a culturally responsive perspective. Everything from spiritual and emotional wellness, as well as, you know, setting up people who have had a black cultural experience to win in the workplace. So, and I put this boutique of services together so that I can make it 360 degrees, one-stop shop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, let's say for somebody that was like just trying to get like their feet wet with something like this, how would they go about it? How would they go about like getting in contact with you, connecting with you, or something like that?
Absolutely. Well, they can find me at Keys to Soar, KEYS, the number 2, SOAR.com. And approaching your personal and spiritual elevation journey, for each person is different. There's no one way to do that. So it generally requires a 30-minute free consultation that I generally give to kind of see how I can support that person and their particular goals.
So like you have like your own office space and you can come see you and check you out, stuff like that.
I'm very free-flowing. I can meet you at your home. You can come to office space. I do it at work. I've had lunch dates. I've had video chats because I want it to feel natural and feel authentic. And sometimes people are more comfortable in their own spaces. So I'm willing to be that for them.
Cool. Very cool. It's a phone call. All right. So I believe we have somebody on the air. Hello. This is Aaron Smith.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Aaron.
Hello. Who is this?
How's your day going, Aaron?
I'm fine. Who is this?
This is your sister.
Oh, really? Hi, Nam. My sister, Namra, is calling from Florida. Hello. How are you?
Good. Calling, checking in on your show.
All right, that's cool. I'm here with Nefara, and, you know, she's talking about her business. I'm a little late because I had the trains. You know how it was when you were here.
Okay.
So what's up with you?
Nothing. Just calling your show, see what you're talking about.
Like I said, just hanging out with her, just speaking to her, her business, and trying to catch up. Like I said, it's a little late, and I'm just rolling with it. I had 101 things to say, but I'm just going to just roll with it, the punches and everything, and just hear from that. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. It is what it is. So, yeah. I know weather's better than it is here.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but it wasn't too bad.
So what was the temperature like? It was like, 30, I think, 40 degrees here. I don't know.
It's the same temperature from when you left us.
Yeah, I miss Florida. I want to come back, but the tickets are ridiculous. So I'm going to keep trying, though. But, yeah. I think everything to the holidays, during the holidays, they're always very expensive. And I I'm looking at Amtrak, but I'm not trying to do that 18-hour thing.
Yeah, I did that once.
I did it once and never again.
If you got back,
I believe I did it. Namra, wasn't it like 18 or 20 hours on that when we came back to Florida that year?
Wow.
It was like 20 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's
and my
nuts.
back was hurting. She made friends. I didn't. I just wanted to go to sleep.
I would have been a grouch.
I had some green herbs, so I was all right.
I'll mellow you out.
Oh yeah, you need that. You need something,
Yeah.
But
Hello, son. How are you?
my mother too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What- Jesus Christ. Hi ma.
Awesome.
Hi ma.
How are you, son?
I'm alright, you.
Pretty good. Just calling to say hello.
All right. So y'all
sweet.
y'all planned this, or y'all just decided to just call in?
That's so sweet.
No, sir. I didn't know she called in, so I wanted to say hello.
Oh, all right. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Well, you was supposed to do something on the show. Do you have it prepared, or you ready? Want to wait till next week?
Oh, man. You want me to do something improv?
If you would, and like I said, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. So I mean, might as well.
Hey, mama.
Oh, boy.
If you don't have to, if you don't want to. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot like that.
Oh, boy.
Put it on the spot.
It's cool. It's cool. But
All
guys,
right, here you go. You ready? This is
yeah.
a little something. I hope I don't get sued for using a little melody that I'm about to use.
You're going to get sued.
But I'm going to say this, okay? You ready?
well, it's just us and like the two people watching right now, so it's okay.
So, a little something I wrote. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The sweetest thing I never know, yeah, was like collard greens and neck bones. And when I look up into your face, yeah, I said, not a morsel, should you waste? 'Cause I cooked you this here meal, boy. So all your hunger pains would be healed. That's all y'all get tonight.
Go ahead, Bob.
That was all right. That was all right. All right, guys. I'm gonna talk to you a little later. I got so many things to run through, and I'll just once I get out of here, I'll call you and I'll let you. We'll just catch up from there.
All right, guys.
And thank you guys for calling. My mother and my sister, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. That's love.
All right. So that was cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Mom's
yeah.
thinking about food over there.
Well, Ma always really cooks good. I went to her for Thanksgiving, and my grandmother had come as well, and they cooked together. They kicked me out of the kitchen because they didn't want me to. You know how it is sometimes.
Messing up nothing up in here. You can pee. You can snap
I
some
could cook
peas, you can
because
snap
of them.
peas.
Well, I could cook them with that. I could cook because of them, but I rather eat, so it's all right though.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, like the things that you are, doing, and it's a little different from what I do here, but you have to open up, and it's a variety of topics and issues and stuff like that, and I pretty much deal with what happens in the world, and a lot of topical base, because I when I was doing comedy, I stopped for a little bit because I have to have a less of a headache.
Yeah.
And so this is a lot more chiller. It's a lot more me. Eventually.
Okay.
Exactly. Stop calling me. It's probably a bill collector. But I get all kind of weird like phone numbers. Like I said, if you're not in my contacts, and if you're an 800 number, an 888 number, you're a bill collector, I'm not picking up.
Yeah, my
and that
phone
was
do-
like 551. I don't even know what area code that is.
Scam likely, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that
Really?
pipes up a lot too. But I was talking about recently there was a president that passed away, George Bush Sr., and how I was gonna bring it into with another person, but we'll probably take care of that next week and talk to him about that. But since you're here, I grew up in the 80s. I was born in the 80s. And my phone just has a mind of its own. But and that was pretty much like the crack era.
Yes.
And there's a lot of rumors about when Bush was in the CIA,
Mm-hmm.
and that he was pretty much running that
Mm-hmm.
with Pablo Escobar.
Yes.
And you know, the crack epidemic
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of things that, you know, kind of messed up the black community.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that he was like, you know, all to blame, but he had some part in it.
Absolutely.
And everybody has dirt. Everybody does dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a lot of it. Personally, I don't know him, but of what I know of him, you know, whether he wasn't a nice guy,
Right.
but you know, it was very solemn and all this other stuff and all that. I mean, we all got to go. We all got to go. So, you know, that everybody has their time.
Yeah.
But he lived a long life. He was 94.
94. Yeah.
And I just thought I just thought of that off the top of my head. So like, what are your ideas? What are your views of Mr. H.W. Bush?
Yeah, so I had a whole spiel that I actually recently shared with the lady, and I said, well, you know, the reality of it is, like you said, you know, I'm from the 80s, the crack era, and, you know, I'm on the flip side of things, because I had people who are in my family who were caught up on both sides of the crack era, a user and a seller.
Right.
So my relationship to him personally, I can recall current events and looking up things, you know, like the Contra-Iran hearings and the first attack on the World Trade Center and him having a huge portion in that. So I'm like,
Yeah. And
what happened, y'all?
we all know what
everybody went to sleep.
we all know what his son did too, but that's for another show.
He was the second round on the World Trade Centers, and he was like, okay, so my dad didn't do it, and he
Yeah.
you know, he kind of
you know.
befuddled that. So I'm gonna make
Right.
sure we get it right this time. Man, miss me with that, brother. I'm sorry.
I mean, you know,
said, "Don't talk ill
to
of
each
that."
their own. To each their own. I mean, it's not even that. It's because I was talking ill of him when he was alive. I didn't stand.
Yeah, me
I
too.
couldn't stand any of those Bushes.
Absolutely.
I couldn't stand the wife, looked like the old Quaker Oats
Yep.
man on the box and stuff. You
the
know,
wife- nope,
you
neither
know,
one of the wives.
the stuff, and you know, they had all these hundreds of you know, cousins and stuff, and talk about I don't like Mexicans. I'm sorry, but you know, you're one of his like grandchildren or
Yes.
whatever is married to a Mexican or is a Mexican,
Yes.
whatever happened. I don't care. But
And not to mention their family line, you know, the fruit company, you know,
I thought they were in the oil.
the oil. It was called the United Fruit Company. The oil company was called the United Fruit Company.
Right.
And they made their money
Yeah.
this way.
And they were very good friends with the Bin Ladens.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know what happened with that.
So they were all in
So-
bed kind of things. I'm like, miss me with that. He lived a long, very healthy life.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of crack families don't have the same to say. A lot of blood, you know, in the 80s, there were bodies, you know, laying in the street for 8 and 9 hours. I mean, I got to go for the gruesome. Like, I can recall this, and I'm a firm believer that people do things. Like, things just don't passively happen. People participate in creating things, and things happen.
Right. Everything's happens for a reason. And
Yeah.
sometimes things are put in place, and that's how things start
Happen,
and
yep.
things go about. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
But maybe rest in peace and all that other good stuff. But,
Or not.
I mean, I'm not going to...
I hope all them crackheads find him on the third dimension. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure of it. There was some meme that I posted on Facebook, and it was like somebody was pretending to be George H.W. Bush,
Mm-hmm.
and it said, "Damn, it's hot down here," and I was in
I
tears.
sure hope they find him.
But
Take it out of
we,
his flesh.
we have another phone. Oh, my phone? Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm in front of the camera. But whatever.
Yeah.
What else happened this week? I believe that obviously our current president was there, and he was on his best behavior for once, and I guess
good
he
for
had
him.
to be, and I guess, you know, maybe he'll be invited to other funerals. I don't know. But you kind of, you know, see like the tension in people's face and the movements, and everybody was. I think I saw a video of like, 'cause, you know, you have all the presidents,
Yeah.
you know, sit together, and I found it ironic that Jimmy Carter was there, because I believe it was Jimmy Carter is the reason why he didn't win his second term, is because of Bush and how he messed up that whole hostage situation back in the day when Bush Senior was head of the CIA, I think.
Yes.
So, like, I think, you know, I guess he had to, you know, because Jimmy Carter, I believe, is a nice gentleman, and, you know, is very down to earth. So,
Yeah.
I guess he just,
other
he was,
reasons.
you know, respecting stuff. You know, the habits of humanity is pretty cool. So, but I mean, I wouldn't. If somebody did that to me, I don't think I would be able to go to their funeral. I don't care. I might send a card or something.
I think it's political. I think it's like this social clout thing. Don't talk ill of the dead, and let him go with his legacy and all that. Like, miss me
hell
with
of a
that.
legacy. I mean, the only thing that I can give him props for is for the ADA Act.
That was about it.
And for I think people who may not be familiar with the ADA Act, it's basically for people who have disabilities, and they got rights, and they were on paper and all that other stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing else I can really say about him that was actually good, other than he made New Jack City look very good. Shout out to Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I don't really know. But
I don't miss him. I don't,
I mean, I know there's very few people that will miss me, other than family. So I really don't give a shit.
You gotta be kidding.
But I was being sarcastic.
Of course.
It is what it is, man. Let's move on.
Yeah.
There was a article that I had saw, and I found it interesting. Basically, it said. And and to be specific, straight to the point, that it doesn't matter what president it is, it doesn't matter whether Democrat or Republican, that things in black communities stay the same. They stay stagnant. So it's pretty much like it doesn't matter who's there.
Right.
And I got into a disagreement with a lady who I used to be really good friends with. And I don't do Twitter battles. I don't do Facebook and all that stuff. I'd rather do face to face, and I have a phone like that. But I mean, sometimes I kind of get out of the way. And my manager had told me about calm it down a little bit. So like we're trying.
Right.
So but it really doesn't matter who's in office. I think personally, I mean, I've been through, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 presidents. Yeah. So it's been pretty much the same for me. I don't know.
I haven't seen much. And particularly, if you want to talk about the Obama administration, a lot of black people were really caught up in that whole experience with him. And I told them from when he got elected, and I cried the night he got elected. I thought it was the most amazing thing. And after that, it was like, okay, so back to business as usual.
Pretty much. I mean, anybody who was black in 2008 definitely loved when Barack Obama became president of the United States. It was, no one thought that was going to happen ever. Right. I mean, even back when Jesse Jackson was running back in the 80s, and he pretty much had it until, he stepped, pretty much, shot himself in the foot. Yeah. But I mean, I was young and I was really caught up in it too, so I didn't know what I knew now. And it's basically, it's a snake with 2 heads. Absolutely. So it is what it is. Yeah. But I try not to get too caught up into it, because if you do, then it becomes you. And then, as that, because like this lady, she was a diehard Republican, not a diehard Republican, she was a diehard Democrat. And she all of a sudden was like, rah, rah, go Trump. And I'm like, what happened here? What? So, and I mean, even she's like in a deep red state like Arizona, and she was like, go Obama, go. And then next thing she's watching these conspiracy theory things, Alex Jones, and and me personally, I think he's like batshit crazy. But he has some points, but the way he brings about it is kind of like, you might want to just go over there, and I'm going to stay over here. Yeah. So, but yeah, I had to stop talking to her because she was like, in a realm that I don't think I'll ever go to.
Yeah, I couldn't process emotionally how people can support Trump that believe that they are liberal at heart and, they believe in an equitable society. I remember when Trump took out several full-page advertisements in the newspaper to what was it? The Central Park Five. Right. And come to find out, we knew those boys were innocent then. But after one died in prison, and the 3 of them finally got out after 20 years in jail, they were innocent. So, like, I don't see how he became a president of a diverse space like this. I don't care what his propaganda was. I just don't see it.
It was basically like, we don't want another black president. That's what it comes down to.
Basically.
And this country really showed its ass by
big time
electing an ass. So, and pretty much,
Yes.
I mean, like, I guess I've told people a lot of times on this show that, I'm from New York City. I knew Trump was an asshole before he became president.
Absolutely, yes.
And he will always be like, he's just like live in HD now. I can say that as many times in the face till I turn blue, and there's nothing's going to change about it. And my problem with a lot of people who are, his, who don't like him, they take it a little bit too much. I'm like, where was all this energy during the election season? Where was all this energy when, Senator Sanders needed it?
Right.
Or stuff like that.
Wow.
And, people are just ass backwards, in my opinion. And, like, on the flip side with his supporters, I'm like, they forget drinking the Kool-Aid. They just chug the whole pitcher. Like Jim Jones style.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
Yes.
I remember seeing a picture. It's like more Trump's face in the Jim Jones's body, and it said, "My followers will do whatever they say," and it's pretty much the truth.
Absolutely.
But crazy.
He's got some kind of crazy cult following with these nut jobs. I don't know.
I got a family member who's like really into extreme to it. You know? Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. I also heard a clip from, I really support this guy here, Tim Wise, and he wrote a book called White Like Me, Confessions of a Privileged Son. And he talks about how white people that believe that they're Trump supporters are getting their clocks cleaned because they're voting against their own interests. Nothing Trump does is going to support them. And they don't realize that they're actually on par with middle American black folks. They're equals. They're just different complexions. And they're not getting service, and you're not going to get service. But you're voting against your own needs. This guy is not going to help you.
It doesn't matter to them, honestly, because it's like, we got our man in, and it doesn't matter if we lose health care and food stamps and housing. It doesn't matter. We got our man in. And people understand at the end of the day, he does not give a damn about you or anyone but himself, not his own family, and we're going to see that in the few weeks, but I'm waiting for my boy Robert Mueller. But we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. You want to hang out, you can pop like you can if you want.
Good.
I think we got a phone call coming in, and then we're going to wrap it up. So this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose on the FLO Empire Network. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Badness can't park, badness can't park. Daddy was a great black shark. Mama was a rolling stone, a hustler. She had to find her own. Things are going on the corner. She a carry things across the border. Brother left her for slaughter. 6 pit if I feel your honor. And everyone in this life has made mistakes. Temptations pushed up in my face. Find it hard not to take a taste. Everyone in this life has made mistakes. Temptations pushed up in my face. Find it hard not to take a taste. And they say, you should sell your soul for the fine life. But I say unto thee, don't let them do Rockabye, hush, little baby, don't you say a word. Mama's gonna turn those tricks and buy you that mockingbird. Rockabye, hush, little baby, don't you say a word. Mama's gonna turn those tricks and buy you that mockingbird. So don't you say a word. Buy you that mockingbird. Don't you say a word. Buy you that mockingbird. So now what? What happens now? That you are no longer here and we are left to miss you. So now what? What happens now? That you are gone. So now what? What happens now? That you are no longer here and we are left to miss you. So now what? What happens now? That you are gone. So now what? What happens now?
She's a dancer. 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 Got me watching you. She's a dancer. Stuck on how she moves. She's a dancer. Got me hypnotized. She's a dancer. Gonna spend my money on my money tonight. Hey shorty, how you doing? See you every Friday. Yeah. Watching you move.
All right, we're back. Made it. Finally made it. I'm just glad that the week is over. It's been a really long week. I came back Friday from Florida, and I'm like, I should have stayed because it's like, I went from like 80-degree weather to like 40-degree weather.
Whoa.
But I knew that was going to happen anyway, coming back home, especially this time of the year, late November, early December. So, but I just been in the house. I don't like the cold. We
Me
like
neither.
me light-skinned people.
I need that vitamin D.
The dark skin. I commend them. They absorb and attract heat. I gotta get some of that. But
Yeah.
anyway, is there you have any events or anything else coming up that the good people can know about, or
Yeah.
is it? Yeah,
Sure.
let's talk about it.
Well, I have my Sound Bites, the radio show. We're in hiatus. We're doing our next season coming up in January, the second week of January. And that's Sound Bites International on Facebook. And we're also on the Keys to Soar page. There's a Sound Bites page on there. So I don't have anything like booked right away at this moment, but I'm kind of taking it easy. I took a bite earlier in the season. I got sick. I'm asthmatic. So I got really sick, so I need to take some me time.
Everyone needs me time. That's why I'm taking a break too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're doing. We're gonna wrap up the year and see where it takes us. We're here at Aaron Smith Can't Lose. I commend and thank the owner and the engineers and everybody here. Appreciate them, and definitely we'll be back next year. I don't know when, but we'll get there when we cross that bridge. So we have a phone call, and I believe
Hello?
this is Michelle.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? I know.
Maintaining.
I know. So, sorry about, the delay. I was running late. You know what happened. So
We know the MTA is never going our way. Come on, now.
Ever.
They're going their way straight into your pocket.
if you flip it, it's ATM. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk a little briefly. I had you on the show before we went on break, and I just wanted to check up and follow with you on an update on that situation that you had with your son who was on the bus and stuck in that snowstorm debacle that nobody wants to take blame for. Yeah.
Well, there's an open investigation against the entire bus company, actually.
Wow. I figured that would happen, especially. I know how
what
you
I
do.
do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I'm glad to hear that. I mean, something's getting done. And I believe the director of the OEM, which is the emergency management, he was let go. I believe that was sometime early
I
this
wonder
week.
why.
Well, somebody got to fall on the sword. I mean, de Blasio wasn't going to do it. Cuomo damn sure wasn't going to do it. He's running for president. But anyway,
it was disgusting. It was disgusting what happened, but it's the situation, at least from my son and the other children who are on the same bus as him, is being handled because, there were other issues that came up, as I had mentioned, in regards to my son's para and the way he was being treated and the way the other children are being treated. So everybody is being held accountable. They're lined up.
Well, like I said, you don't play when it comes to your kids, so I definitely know you're going to have a handle on that. Nefara, do you have children, or do you have any?
Yeah, I actually do.
That
I have a son.
Did you have any issues with like busing or anything stuff like that with the snowstorm or anything after you?
No, my son is 22. He kind of rolls on his own.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Rolls out.
Oh, God bless him.
Awesome, dude.
Yes.
But did you have any trouble that day, like with traveling or things like that? Because I know I did.
I did. Actually, I think.
I was home.
I was home. Yeah, I was home. Then I was like,
I had to think for a second. I was like, yeah, I was home.
That one was too cold, so I didn't even bother to go out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the funny thing is, Michelle, I believe they were supposed to have some kind of snow now, but it's like an inch or two, but they're not taking any chances. So now they're like, you'll have all these trucks with sand and all this other stuff, and they're going to be over prepared, but I guess that's a good thing, right?
Oh.
She said, after the fact.
Well, when everyone doesn't do anything until they messed up, so that's unfortunate.
Well, Grandma said an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure.
That's a good one. Forrest Gump says stupid is as stupid does. I think that's a little bit more
literally
with this topic. But
that definitely applies to OPT and all these bus companies.
I mean, like, if it were their kids, they'd be on it. I don't know what the problem is. I mean,
well, no, of course not. I mean, let's just leave the children on the bus until well after midnight. That's okay, right?
Right. And then if there's something that went down, then what? Oh, you have a lawsuit in your hands. But, like, people don't think logically, and that's the problem. We're thinking in the now, and that's the issue. And unfortunately for most, they can't get to it right away, and then they get frustrated and they get mad. So personally, I'm like, look, just own up to it. You messed up. Keep it moving. Make sure this doesn't happen again. That's my issue.
It damn sure better not. But
put politics aside, put nonsense to the side, and have a plan. So just in case this does happen again, which I hope not, you'll be better prepared. And that's statewide and citywide.
And like I said, the bus company is under investigation. They're in a lot of mess because since then the bus has been broken down and they're not calling parents to notify them. Got kids sitting there like an hour later after I've already retrieved my child is when the bus company is calling me to tell me he's going to be just a little bit late.
Wow.
You need to fix that system. I mean, if you're going to cover your ass, at least do it the right way. But I don't understand that. Like, these things should be already been in place. But unfortunately, common sense is not so common anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got the update. I'm not at liberty to go and get into full details because there is an open investigation.
Well, yeah, I watched Law and Order. Yeah,
But you already knew when I told you what was said to my son's para
Right. That was
that I
uncalled
wasn't going
for.
to let that slide.
Very uncalled for.
So I have even notified the mayor's office. So let's see.
All right. Cool.
I'm not playing
Well,
that. I'm not playing that.
I know you're not. Well, you're going to keep me posted. I know that. So, all right, quickly, any events you got coming up, anything that the good people can check out?
Yes, actually, December 15th, Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 3, over at the Atlas Foundation for Autism, which is on 29th Street and 8th Avenue. Oh my gosh, I think the address is 252. Third floor, we're having a sensory-friendly Christmas party. And there's going to be Sensitive Santa there. It's going to be free open play in the sensory gym. We're doing it up for the kids.
Awesome. And where could the people find this information and where to contact you?
It is all over Facebook. Look at Spectrum Warriors, Inc. at our Facebook page. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. And you can also check Atlas Foundation for Autism. They've also posted it. I Am Sam, Inc. They have posted the flyer as well.
Great. Thank you. All right, Michele, thank you for calling in. Thank you for being patient. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
What?
Have a blessed one.
All right. Talk to you later, love.
Bye.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank Michele Sanchez-Sterheim of Spectrum Warriors for calling in. I want to thank Nefara for coming in, for Keys to Soar. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everyone for, I guess, watching, because I guess this is on live stream. And this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose. I'll see you next week. Thank you and good night.